So let me ask you this. Does the Nintendo Switch have a projector? Are holograms and projections possible now? Anyway, what's happening, Block Buddies? Today, we have some crazy awesome news about the possibility of holographic projections through the awesome console that was just announced, the Nintendo Switch. Of course, there's been so much news coming in from the Nintendo Switch from all over the place because Nintendo has said that they really don't want to announce anything more. Right now, they just leave us with that 3-minute awesome teaser, and that's, I guess, fine. But yeah, we really want more information, so from all kinds of places on the web, this information is coming in. But this actually has been announced for quite some time. We've just not been able to really see it. Nintendo often, places these patents on very cool, different gaming experiences. One of which was, of course, gaming on the go with a console, and we know now that it's called the Nintendo Switch. And some other things like this actually talk about things like a projector, or projecting things on like your hands or the ceiling and stuff. So it seems like through some patents Nintendo has filed that we might know more about the Nintendo Switch's capabilities. There's a lot more than just that projection, there's tons of different things that we've not even covered with all these pens, and sometimes it ends up that Nintendo really doesn't do anything with them, but they just want to get it out there, and that's the main idea that they have, and maybe they'll take bits and pieces of it. But with the Wii, people were able to predict, wait, Nintendo's doing motion sensor stuff, this could be really awesome, and yeah, they ended up doing that exactly, which was also kind of the case with the Switch, with gaming on the go and those detachable controller pieces with the Joy-Con controllers. So yeah, there could still be a lot of truth to this. So I thought it would be cool to dive into this a little bit and see, what could this ultimately mean for the console, and also what could this mean for games. Of course, we know a lot more than we did before about the Nintendo Switch. I mean, yeah, that 3.5-minute trailer came out, so everyone is still crazy about that and talking about that. But yeah, there are still some features left unexplained, I have some questions of my own. Is there a camera on the thing? Are there motion controls possible? Do the Joy-Con controller pieces have motion controls, or does it only have motion controls in the screen itself? Are GameCube controllers possible? There are USB ports in that dock, but yeah, is that, still possible with the GameCube controller that I still have from Super Smash Bros. For Wii U? There's just a lot of unexplained questions, so for me it would be very interesting to have at least a look at what's still possible with this console, and just thinking about a projector is like, wow, this could end up being like the next Virtual Boy, totally flop and fail and be very weird, but it could also end up being something like VR that really, enhances your gameplay experience, but also takes gaming on the go to just the next step. I'm just gonna go into it because, yeah, the projector image that they show is using a batter and having a ball in your hand that you throw at the batter on the screen. So basically you play baseball and you throw the ball that is actually projected onto your hand, and you throw it towards the screen or towards your television. And the infrared sensor actually senses your hand and projects the image of the ball on it. So it shows a ball on your hand, and with a motion sensor in that machine, you can even then move and throw the ball. It will still see your hand movement, so the ball will disappear out of your hand or maybe animate and fly away. That way you can sort of have a game of catch, or maybe Nintendo could do so much more with it. And I was just thinking about, very simple possibilities, but imagine, getting a fireball in a Mario game or whatever, and imagine just throwing that fireball, just seeing your hand, having projected that item, and just throwing it out there. Different Mario items could work as well with the hammers, the Hammer Brothers and stuff like that, but Pokemon, imagine getting a Pokeball in your hand. After battling a Pokemon, you're like, yeah, okay, let's equip this, and you see it projected onto your hand, that Pokeball, and then you throw it at the Pokemon, and then it shakes, that would be very, very cool, and would use projecting in a very cool, innovative way, I think. And even, they've announced sort of a Skyrim game in that trailer, at least that they're working together with the developer Bethesda to bring something like Skyrim to the Nintendo Switch. So imagine having these Skyrim powers in your hand, like turning your hand into flame or ice or whatever. That would look so cool, and having it actually projected. You don't need glasses or anything with that because it's a projection, and that's so Nintendo. Imagine something like the Avengers, right? Imagine having Iron Man's armor, going over your hand. We had this little part in the new Marvel movie called Civil War, which was Captain America 3. And that actually featured Iron Man as well, and Robert Downey Jr. equipped only the hand, the gauntlet of Iron Man on his hand, to shield him from like gunfire or something. And just imagine seeing your hand turn slowly into that Iron Man gauntlet. That would be so awesome. And just thinking about superheroes, imagine projecting footage on a wall like Batman. Batman can like project footage on the wall from his handheld device and like see the world map. So that would be so cool, like actually scrolling through the map on your screen and then seeing it on the projection moving. And so many things are possible. Imagine Splatoon, ink on your hand and having to shake it off, like shake your hand and then the ink is gone or something like that. If you just think about the possibilities, a lot of things are possible. And, there might be a lot of things that I haven't thought of. I know that in my room here, I have a giant white wall that there are no paintings or no posters on it. And actually, if I think about it, if I were to, project an image on that, I could damn well have a very, very big picture right there. I could just have a giant screen of my own. That would be very, very cool. So yeah, a lot of things seem possible. Could Nintendo end up doing this? I don't really know. It could be very expensive. Projectors these days are not as expensive as they used to be. At the very start, they were very, very pricey, and I know that my dad had one, and we were often, watching movies, but that thing, was a lot to save up to and to get. Is it too out there, the idea? Yeah, I don't know. The Switch has already got such a good selling point with taking gaming anywhere on the go and switching it around, so I don't know. I'm more than anything just very curious what your ideas are for this console. What all the other patents could end up meaning. Is there a camera? What about that share button? Is there ultimately a share button on the console? There are quite a few buttons on that thing still left unexplained. Are there scroll wheels? But the camera to me also is one of these things that's like, that could make or break it for me in some ways. Because, right, the camera could mean that this console could still be your home device and kind of, do these Skype sessions or whatever. Or, maybe in-game still doing something like streaming or stuff like that. That could be so cool. And not having motion controls or touchscreen stuff like that. I think we know that there's no touchscreen on the device, but not having motion controls would be a big loss for Nintendo as well, because they are the motion control company, right? They own that now. So yeah, I really wish that there was a lot more. But thinking about this projection thing, using that thing in a Mario game or getting that Pokeball in your hand, but things like Skyrim powers and the Avengers things, and even things like projecting the footage on your wall just simply because you need a bigger screen for something, or it kind of reminds me, I have this alarm clock in my room, and it actually projects the time on the wall, like on my ceiling, so that when I sleep, when I wake up, I can just look up and see the times. And that to me felt so like futuristic. That's why I like that alarm clock so much, because it was so futuristic and awesome, and made me feel like I was living in like 2080 or something. But this idea from Nintendo really feels like that as well, because we know VR is coming. All those experiences are headed our way, and that's going to feel like the future as well. And things like holographic images too, and Xbox actually kind of messing around with that idea, and it looked really cool with games like Minecraft and stuff like that. That growing is very exciting to me, but a projector doesn't feel like that big of a change. We already know these things exist, but playing it with a game, that has not really been done that much, or at least including it into a controller, right? So yeah, to me, a lot of stuff that's worth talking about, that's worth thinking about. A projector, things like holograms. I'm just very thrilled that Nintendo is doing these out there, these weird ideas, because I think that it will pay off in the end to be the odd man out, to be the weird one, and to have a concept that people are just talking about, because ultimately that's what's going to drive a console. Not necessarily its gimmick, but definitely the uniqueness of what the console brings. Because if you were to tell me like what's the unique selling point of the Xbox One, I would just say it's a good looking console that has good games. The unique selling point for PlayStation is now turning into VR, which Xbox is not actively jumping in. But Nintendo, you have these 10 million things to say, like, oh yeah, it's the home of Mario, but also it's motion controls. It's taking your game anywhere on the go. It's changing, the controller up to fit your play style or whatever. And all those ideas, to me say that Nintendo is kind of, climbing out of that hole that they were in for so long with the Wii U and it not working out. And I feel so bad about it. I love the Wii U. I play so many games on that thing. Actually, recently I got Toad Treasure Tracker, Captain Toad, and it's so cute. It's such a good game, and I just totally love, that Nintendo is bringing these franchises and doing them justice. But with the Wii U, didn't really work out that well. And let's hope that with the Nintendo Switch and with things like this crazy projector idea, these things can grow and can do a lot more awesome things. I believe so. I have faith in Nintendo as a company. I have faith in their vision. I have faith in what Satoru Iwata has started with this very awesome Nintendo Switch. I wouldn't be surprised if the entire thing was largely coming from his brain. I applaud him for this change in gaming that is coming. It's going to be his legacy. People are going to love this thing. And I do think that if they do something like a projector, there are 10 million ideas that I can't wait to just dive into. Anyway, yeah, what are your ideas? Any unique things that I haven't thought of in this video that you think might fit well with a projector? I don't know. Also, remember that there is a Super Mario Maker goodie giveaway. These are actually magnets for on your fridge. So, yeah, place a comment down below. Be unique, be special, be awesome, and maybe you can win those things. Anyway, thank you for tuning in. Please subscribe because we're hitting almost 1,000 likes. And if we do, we will start live streaming and of course give away those Mario Maker magnets. So let's share this channel all over the world and make this goal come true together. Anyway, until next time, and see you guys.